This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
What's going on, guys? This is VinylicPuma, and today I'm back with another Q&A video for you guys. So this is going to be a little bit less scripted than usual, so we'll see how it goes. Our first question is going to come from Sam Cowley, and he asks, what do you hope from Borderlands 3? So this will be a pretty tough question to answer with no script to back me up, but Borderlands 3, I just hope that it comes out relatively recently, so like in the next 2 to 3 years, and I hope Borderlands 3 is not always online, because we've seen games like Destiny and The Division. Supposedly, I've been hearing lately that Division has been having some launch problems, although otherwise it's supposedly a good game. I haven't played it. I probably won't play it until it goes on sale. But, you know, I do. I kind of hope that they will add mod support as well. And pretty much I just hope it comes out relatively soon. Otherwise, I think that's about it. Maybe I'd like them to focus more on the actual loot being amazing and the experience of acquiring that loot being amazing, as opposed to like fleshing out the characters and like the NPCs, which I think that's fine also, but they need to focus on their core experience, and that is that Borderlands is a looter shooter, and the loot must be amazing. Our next question comes from Bew_, and he asks, which of the characters we know should be playable in Borderlands 3, and how much they should or shouldn't be changed? I'd say the only character that I want to see return from previous Borderlands games that was an NPC is Tiny Tina as a playable character. I think she could be interesting to play. Otherwise, as for people like Mad Moxie or anybody else, maybe Scooter, maybe Sir Hammerlock, I wouldn't want them to be Vault Hunters. And really, the Vault Hunters that we've currently got, I'd like them to have cameo appearances as NPCs. For example, Brick in Borderlands 2, and really roll just the same as Roland, Mordecai, and Lilith. So that's kind of where I'm on that. And mainly, I would just like to see new characters, new playable characters. Like, I'd like to see a new Siren, obviously. And really, they could honestly have another ex-soldier type character, a berserker-like character like Salvador and Brick. And honestly, I would be happy with that. What would also be cool is if Tiny Tina does return as a playable character for Borderlands 3, is that she's like a lot older. And that would be kind of interesting to see her, I guess, as like a younger, I guess, child in I don't even know how old she is in Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel. But maybe if like Borderlands 3 is like 5, maybe 10 years in the future, it would be interesting to see what has happened to all of the characters, who has died, and etc., etc. Kind of like I said in the first question, I hope they focus on loot and making the loot being good, and they don't take resources away from making the loot being good to deliver this interesting narrative or whatever. And now for the question that inspired the title of this video, and that comes from Killers1863, and he asks, I got a question for you, Puma. Which game do you prefer, Borderlands 2 or Fallout 4? So originally, I thought about not answering this question, but then I went ahead and thought, you know, what the heck, I'll do it. Honestly, I think between the two, like, at this current moment, I prefer Fallout 4. I play Fallout 4 more regularly than I do Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel. I still play Borderlands 2 in the pre-sequel, but for the most part, it's usually to make videos, and then the rest of the time, I'm usually playing other games. That's probably going to upset some people, but the thing is, I feel like I've been playing Borderlands 2 for so long, the pre-sequel as well, for a long time. I mean, I started playing Borderlands 2 in like 2013, so it's been like 3 years. And it's not that I don't like Borderlands anymore, it's just that there aren't as many new experiences that are keeping me coming back to Borderlands 2, where with Fallout 4, I mean, Fallout 4 is a relatively new game, and, I mean, we're going to have some more DLC coming out pretty soon, so there's new experiences there, and of course there's also mod support, so you can basically play the game, I guess, indefinitely. I mean, there's still people that play Skyrim And that is a big appeal of that. And really, one of the things about Borderlands 3 that I am hoping Gearbox does, but I'm not sure they will, because a lot of the games in the looter shooter genre, I guess like The Division, Destiny, all of those games are moving towards this like always online future. And if Borderlands 3 is always online, there will be no mod support for Borderlands 3, and that just depresses me. Our next question comes from Justin Brower, and he asks, why did you start YouTube, and what game did you play first? I'd say there are a plethora of reasons that I started YouTube. I don't necessarily want to go like over each thing here, because it's kind of like, some of it is kind of, in my opinion, dark. Stuff that I don't want to think about. I think one of the big reasons I got into YouTube, though, was because I was really into Borderlands, and I saw other people making Borderlands videos, and they were doing really well, and I figured, you know what, why don't I make some Borderlands videos? And I think what I did is I just stuck with it, and I also got into Fallout, and I got into other games, and I just kind of took off from there. I guess you're asking what game did I play first? On this particular YouTube channel, it was mostly Borderlands. I've been doing Borderlands since like February of 2014, which is when I started. As for the first video game I ever played, you know, I actually don't remember. I will say the first console I ever owned was a Nintendo 64, though. Our next question kind of goes in the same vein as the previous question, and that is from Hal Plays, and he asks, if you had an opportunity to make a new manufacturer, what would it be and who inspired you? And I'd assume who inspired you is about YouTube. I think a really good idea for a new weapon manufacturer in Borderlands 3 would be like Creature. And what it would be is that you would have like various, like, I guess, creature parts, like you would have, I guess, like, I don't know, this sounds kind of weird, but it would be kind of interesting if you could kill certain enemies. They would drop, like, I guess, certain body parts, which you could convert into guns. That would be kind of interesting. It would be kind of cool if you could kill, like, a bullymong. You could take its claw and then, like, forge it into, like, a blade you stick on the end of, like, a pistol or something. That could just be kind of interesting. Just an idea. Food for thought. As far as who inspired me on YouTube, I'd say the Angry Video Game Nerd is kind of a big deal, since some people say that I rip him off. To some degree, I think some of those earlier videos, I'd say you're right. Yodi Slaya. I think Yodi Slaya was pretty big for a lot of the Borderlands YouTubers. Review Tech USA to some extent, Total Biscuit to some extent, and then it's just a plethora of other people that I can't think of right now. Our next question is a Fallout question that comes from Steve Turner, and he asks, what do you think of the upcoming survival update? I'm looking forward to the upcoming survival update. I just want to know when it's coming out, just like I want to know when the Automatron DLC is coming out. Honestly, I kind of wish they had a solid release date for all of that stuff, but I guess that's how Bethesda does it now, and it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the survival update for Fallout 4. I think it's going to be way better than the current survival mode that we've already got. The only thing that I will say is that there's like mechanics that involve fatigue where you need to sleep and stuff, and I hope they don't overdo that to where it becomes kind of boring and tedious to do stuff, but we'll just have to see. Here's another Fallout question from Jonathan Baum, in parentheses, the original, and he asks, Q&A, if you could pick the next Fallout location, what would it be? This will sound kind of weird, but in my opinion, it has to be San Francisco. The reason I say that is because a lot of the spin-off games for Fallout recently, like Fallout New Vegas in particular, have been set in the West. And what you may not notice is that when you go through that dream sequence with Kellogg after you've killed him, sorry, spoilers, but when you go through that dream sequence after you've killed Kellogg, you'll notice when, I guess, he's got his wife that they are in San Francisco and you see the Golden Gate Bridge. They could do everything from making fun of hippies to talking about drug culture, talking about UFOs, because San Francisco is a really interesting place. And there's also the potential there for having like a technological conglomerate that's similar to the Institute from Fallout 4, simply because, I mean, at least in our real world San Francisco, it's like the tech capital of the United States. Otherwise, if I did have to pick another location for the next Fallout game, maybe I would like to do it in like Europe or something. That would be kind of interesting. The only problem with setting it in Europe or like another country is that you'd miss that 1950s America theme that's so prevalent in the Fallout games. Ultimately, so yeah, I want it to be in San Francisco. Our next Fallout question comes from Nick Dione, and he asks, do you think Bethesda will add new power armors? I really do hope that they add some new power armors in the upcoming DLCs. Particularly, I'd like to see the Enclave Hellfire armor come back, and something that would be new, that would be kind of interesting to see. I think the Children of Adam are going to be in Far Harbor, and I'd be curious if they have like created this weird adapted power armor from themselves. Of course, there's the Institute, which really I think the Institute was kind of underplayed in Fallout 4 overall, and I would like to see their own variants of power armor, because really the Exo one, in my opinion, it doesn't count. We'll go back to some YouTube questions here, and this one is from Raphael Cavalieri, and he asks, what is your main YouTube goal? I think right now that I've hit 10,000 subs, I'd like to get 100,000 subs, and ideally I'd like to get to about 100 to 300,000 views per day. If I could pull that off, that would be awesome. And ultimately, I'd also kind of like to do some collaborations in the future. We'll just have to see how all of that plays out. I think I'd like to get there eventually, though I will say, if I do get to that point, I'd like to be able to stay there. And with a lot of the kind of crazy stuff that's been going on YouTube lately with false flaggings, community guideline strike stuff, I just hope I make it to 100,000. We'll just have to see. Our final question comes from Billy Lewis, and he asks, are there any new games that you are thinking of playing? I am looking forward to a bunch of new games that are coming out in like the next 2 to 3 months. Particularly Dark Souls 3, Doom, the new Doom game I'm looking forward to. And depending on how things go, if I can get into the open beta for Battleborn and I don't have to pre-order the game, I will probably take a look at Battleborn. Otherwise, I'll probably see other people's opinions on the beta and kind of figure out whether I'm going to cover Battleborn or not, because that's kind of up in the air. But yeah, man, I am looking forward to that. Actually, even Nintendo, I'm kind of looking forward to Star Fox Zero, Pokken Tournament. I'm probably not going to play those games until they go on some kind of discount, so where they go down to like $40, because Nintendo games are fairly expensive. But honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to all that stuff. I'd say out of everything, though, I'm really looking forward to playing Doom. I think that's going to be really good, and I'm just looking forward to it. Dark Souls 3 will probably be pretty fun as well. Anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this Q&A video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like. If I didn't answer your question, once this goes up, after this goes up, I'm going to go through and answer some of the other questions I found. So be looking forward to that. As always, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.